If you aren't making a 10% net profit after paying your salary as an owner, you could be at risk. Want to boost your roofing profits? It's not just about working harder. Many roofers already work 60, 70, or even 80-hour work weeks and still barely break even. Why? This isn't just exhausting, it's actually dangerous for your business. Without enough profit, your company is vulnerable to what we call the comet. You know, the thing that wiped out the dinosaurs? See, that's an unexpected event that can wipe out your business too. Before you say, that isn't me, I make tons of profit, let me be clear. Our goal is for you to make 10% net profit after paying for everything else, including your salary. Any less than that and you can be a comet magnet. But don't worry, I'll show you 4 fixes and 1 strategy to potentially double your profits immediately. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to raise your revenue. Okay, raise revenue. We're talking about raising the build out amount that you bill out every month, but there's a couple catches here. You need to do that without lowering prices, so we can't just go slash prices and get a bunch more revenue. That won't work because that'll lower our profit. And we need to also do it without increasing our overhead. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. Either you can increase the value of the jobs that you sell, that each job has a higher value, or you have to sell more of the leads that you get because your marketing is in your overhead, right? So if you sell more of the leads you get and spend less on marketing, that will give you a bottom line net result. So the way you can sell jobs at a higher value is there's a few different ways you can do it. You can sell more expensive components like premium shingles or metal. You can also add elements to the job like gutters, skylights, insulation, or you can raise your prices. If you do any or all of these things without adding cost or adding overhead, your net profit will go up. The second thing you can do is lower your cost of goods, okay? And your cost of goods sold is another way of saying your job costs, okay? So lowering your job cost, that's not always easy because it means lowering your labor, disposal, material costs, things like that. And, I'm sure most of you out there are maximizing these things already. But if you're not, there are a few different things you can do. Obviously, first thing and the easiest thing is for you to negotiate with your suppliers. You can try to get the best prices, but you can also try to get additional discounts for prompt pay or volume purchasing programs. You can also focus on reducing and eliminating sales errors. That's a big one that kind of is one of those sneaky little profit stealers where either we don't have a great sales process and we are over ordering and taking too much stuff to the job, and then we've got shrinkage and we're spending more time taking it back, or a lot of one of the things that we see more commonly is that we are not estimating, get everything in the job when it's ordered originally, when it's estimated and ordered. There's a couple problems with that. Number one, we probably didn't charge for some stuff. And number two, we're having extra trips and extra stuff to the job. And all of that stuff is those are those sneaky, silent profit killers. So there's a couple different ways for you to leverage your cost of goods. Okay, so number 3 is to raise gross profit. And we're talking here raising gross profit as a percentage of the revenue of the sales that you're billing, okay? And we're going to dive deeper into this one in a moment, and this is a really important one. But raising your gross profit will happen automatically if you lower job costs and keep the prices the same. And this is good, but really the best way to raise your gross profit is to raise your price. And I'm going to show you something on this shortly that is potentially going to blow your mind. Number 4 is to lower overhead. If you want to boost the net profit and have it fall to the bottom line and into your bank account, you can cut out unnecessary overhead. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? Now, that can get a little murky though because there's a whole bunch of stuff. Now, overhead is really anything that isn't a job cost, okay? Anything that isn't a job cost, that's an expense. So you can go through and look for ways to cut there. And every little bit counts. It does add up. But there's 2 main areas to focus on here. And that's because they're the 2 biggest areas typically in your overhead bucket. And that's unproductive salaries and unproductive marketing. Now, I want to caution you here. I'm not saying to blindly go cut salaries and marketing. If you want to scale and have freedom, you will have to have marketing investments and salaried team members. So you need to have marketing that's that's producing, and we've got other videos talking about this. And obviously, you need to have productive team members because you can't do it all yourself. You can't do $10 million by yourself, right? They have to be productive. They have to be producing. You have to be getting the return on your marketing investment that you have set forth. And if you don't know what that means, we've got some other videos for it. Reach out for us for help. And you also have to have salary team members that are also being productive. I don't want to get too way off into the weeds here, but think of it like this. Every salaried team member, a lot of times business owners are like, oh, I just need help. I just need to add bodies. No, don't think of it like that. Big businesses that make a whole bunch of money, the way that they're doing that is they look at each one of those team members. They're definitely taking heat off. They're doing work, but each one of those team members, you need to be making a little bit of profit off of their efforts. Each one, okay? So if you're not, if they're just dead weight and they're an expense, then they're cutting into your profit and they're making your life probably miserable as well. So you need to do something about that. Now, let's zoom in on the most important and helpful and impactful factor, and that's raising your gross profit percentage, i.e. your pricing, okay? Here's something that might surprise you. And I'm going to show you here in just a second, but raising your prices or raising your gross profit by as little as 3% can potentially double your net profit. And let me show you what I mean and how this works, okay? So we got a couple of examples here. And let's say that you're doing your average replacement job is $15,000, okay? And you're selling 100 of them a year. That give you 1.5 in total revenue, all right? Your cost of goods, your job costs, let's say that they're $950,000, all right? So what that leaves is about $550,000 in gross profit. I like to call this your take-home pay. Your take-home pay, what do you do with the take-home pay? Well, you pay the bills, right? And your bills are the overhead. In a, semi-regular company that's trying to market and trying to do things right, this is not an overhead structure that's too, if you're having a scalable company, this is kind of a overhead that could be a reality, all right? So in this scenario, we've got $510,000 in overhead, which is leaving us $40,000 or 3%. And what we would say in this situation is that is squarely in the Comet Zone, okay? That is squarely in the Comet Zone. Now, watch what happens when we increase our prices just a little bit, okay? So revenue goes up to 1.6 on 100 jobs. Materials and everything else stay the same. I've got included here a little bump for commissions, because if you're not counting your commissions in your cost of goods, then you're going to struggle to have a scalable company. A lot of companies miss out on this, so there's a slight increase here. But so our cost of goods goes to $958. Our gross profit now, though, is $642. And really, you'll see here that's a 3% increase in gross profit. 3%. As we go down here, overhead stays the same, but take a look at this. Our $40,000 net profit went to $132. Okay, not double, but triple the amount. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I raise my prices without losing customers to cheaper competitors? Well, for that, I have a two-part answer. The first one is this. I want you to think back on the last 5 people who have bought a roof. Now, don't think about the ones who didn't and said your price was too high and they could get it cheaper or somewhere else, all right? Don't think about those people. I think about the last 5 that bought. Think about those people, get them in your mind, and I want you to ask yourself this question. Would they have not bought if your price was $500 more? Just $500. Would they have not bought if you're $500 more? Of course they would still buy. Even if you didn't go up the amount that I was just showing you on the other spreadsheet. Even if you just went up $500 times that same 100 jobs, that, my friend, is going to put another $50K in your pocket. All you got to do is raise $500, and I promise you, you can do it. You can do it. You can raise your price $500. You're not going to miss a beat, okay? The second thing you can do, if you want to be able to charge more, is enhance your sales process. Can sell your value. And when you do that, it equals your ability to increase your prices. How do I know that? Because I work for a company. I was able to help them go from a 27% gross profit to over a 45% gross profit. I've been able to see it work, and how it happened was by identifying the value areas of the company and getting a sales process that more effectively communicated that to the consumer. And when that happens, you stop hearing things like, I can get the same for less. If people are saying I can get the same for less to you, what that means is you have an opportunity to enhance your sales process. If you're serious about taking your business to the next level and you want to get there faster, book a free game plan session with us. We'll analyze your specific situation and create a custom plan to boost your profits. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and we'll make more stuff just like it.